Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, we are going to be decorating for May 31st, the last day of May, in the planner. So, we're decorating a little over a week ahead so that we have it all ready for next week. And we just finished Friday, and now we're going to pull out for Saturday. Now, if you haven't seen my videos, every spread that's a weekly spread actually ends up as a 2-page daily. Both of these pages are for Friday. So it keeps me busy decorating. But the reason I chose a 2-page daily is because I was originally using multiple planners, and now I can fit all of everything that I want to do in the whole day for all the planners on 2 pages. So instead of flipping around to different planners, it's all right here in front of me. And I like that so much better. So we're going to white out the tops of these days because I don't need them. This is for the last day of May, so I'm going to need to be grabbing my June setup. And I am going to switch layouts for my 2-page daily, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep my Big Happy Planner vertical layout for my declutter planner. So this is a Big Happy Planner vertical layout, but it's the memory keeping one. That's why you see some extra dot grids, grid lines, and it's also very colorful, which I love. So for the stickers today, we're going to use the big farmhouse stickers. And I'm thinking of going in and just grabbing these florals and having a floral spread with Wrong pastel gold boxes. And then we have Mojo Jojo plans dated. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's get our timeline on. So I make a timeline, which I used to use an hourly planner as one of my planners. So now I just put a timeline over here and I time block for the hour. Like, what am I doing for the 9 a.m. hour? What am I doing for the 10 a.m. hour? But because this is a vertical layout, I do have to draw the lines myself. But I do like that I can control the width of the line. So this is like extremely wide rule that I use for these. It's a 1/2 inch. And I like having this space to write. So I'm just drawing the lines in. And I have mentioned before, I don't mind the maintenance of this because I'm pretty picky and I wanted the 2-page daily. But also keeping up several planners takes a lot of time. So now I'm doing one main planner, 2 pages of it, and consolidating. Okay, so that's it for the timeline, and now I just write in the times. I leave my top 3 lines for my top 3 for the day, and I start at 9 a.m. If I ever wanted to, though, on a vertical layout, I could start at 6 a.m. So for right now, I'm going to leave this the Sweet Life quote, but if I wanted to white that out, I could do an 11 p.m. Normally I just say something like bedtime, go to bed, even though I don't. Okay, so this is the basic layout, and now we have, I love that there's already color on the page. I think that's fun to work with. So let's grab our stickers, and you're going to see they're going to coordinate really well with the colors already on the page. So we're just going to do these. There's 2 pages of these. I don't know if we're going to need them, but I'm going to take them out. This is, again, Farmhouse Big Happy Planner sticker book. And I don't love the look of these flowers, but I think they're gonna be able to create a cute spread. The pastel boxes are just because I like to have some boxes on the page or some separation. You can always separate with washi. I'm gonna grab out some of my extra pages here and grab the gold boxes from here. They're kind of throughout the book instead of just in one place. So I'm gonna go through and grab what I can. That totally rips. We'll see. We'll see if that'll stick well enough. You know, when you put stickers back, sometimes you get them just on the edge, just enough to not keep them sticky. And this is the color I'm really looking for, this brighter gold, to brighten it up. And we do have a couple, I don't know, we'll grab, and I like to use different sizes of boxes. I prefer, if I can, different shades with the different sizes. I don't know, we'll do these circles. These are growing on me. I always wondered kind of what they were for, but they are growing on me. The shaded boxes. So that's that. And I think we're about done because I don't want to use these really light yellow boxes. Like, ugh, those, I'm not a pastel gal. Only if I had to. You see, these are a little more gold. I'm gonna grab one of these that doesn't have the lines because then I'll have two plain and two lined. I'll grab one more checklist. And probably not that one, but we'll see. We can always come back. This smaller guy. Grab a couple of these small guys. And I think that's actually going to be plenty with what we have. So we'll put back there if we need to. There's a couple left in there that might work. But I think these are going to be good enough. Okay, so this says this week, but obviously this is just for one day. Usually this is a weekly spread, and I'm just going to white this out. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this. The reason I am making 2-page spreads out of Happy Planner, Big, Vertical, or any, is because I do have a lot of Happy Planner planners left, and I think they're really cute, the ones that I have. I chose them because they're colorful, because I like them, and then I just never got around to using them. So now I want to go back and actually use them. And that is why I'm making them into 2-page dailies. I don't want them to go to waste. I did donate most, if not all, of my classic Happy Planners because I just realized classic's not going to work. I've tried it several times and it's just not the right size for me. I just want to fill that in a little. So yeah, I think that looks really cute. Okay. So now we can use some of these with boxes that I think are going to be fun. I think this big box, I like to have a big box in work, and this is my work area. So let's try to get it straight. Yeah. And then we'll put a floral on there. I do want to white out the corner. It just gives me a little more freedom of placement for the floral. I was going to say, I've said this times before, you might hear my husband in the background. His voice carries like crazy. So you may hear that. You may hear something in the background. So this is favorite picture. I think I'm just going to white out picture and put a floral here. Let's do it like this. Alright, that side is looking really good. Let's start the other side. So I do love to have, we'll decide about this quote here. This is the life. I might actually just put a box there. Let's just do that now because I want to be able to write there instead. If I hadn't covered up, you know, up here. But also this is one of those, and this is one of my favorite days, is where it has like this currently here. Currently loving, thankful for, thinking of, going, wearing, excited for. I've been leaving those on because I like it every now and then daily check-in. I think it happens like every 3 days that comes up. Okay, so I had to change the battery. I thought I was recording. I've just been adding boxes and florals. So annoying, but that I didn't record it. Just working out where to position things. We have more florals, like a whole nother page, but that other entire page is gone. And this is just a replica page. So we'll see when everything's done because this is really plain over here. But we're adding washi right now to the top and bottom. And I chose this striped one because I didn't think it would take away too much from the decoration. And it's also thin enough to be used in the middle as well. So you don't have to use 2 different types of washis like I did yesterday. Let me see if I can show you like the thick one and then the thinner one, which is always fine to do anyway, but I like it when I don't have to do it. So let's get the washi on. Oops. So I add washi for color detail, but also to separate some of the boxes. So I like to have separation up there. And that one's a little close to that. So let's bring that here. I usually do 3 strips of washi, but lately I've been doing 4. So the middle can look a little more decorated. And I don't mind having a line through the boxes because I can either use it as 2 separate sections or I can just use it as is and write through and just continue what I was writing on the other side. Okay, so that is cute, but we definitely need something over here. So let's see. I think we're gonna just do this other big one. It's not my favorite because now if I wanted to do another spread, you know, it would be missing this giant floral, but that's okay. Cut the paper a little. I'm gonna grab this and I think we're gonna move this up the row here. Okay. Okay, that's definitely better. And maybe we grab a couple more. So definitely plain in here. We could probably put a floral there. Maybe. Just a small one. And let's move the washi. So we put it here. Yeah, we pretty much need the washi here and here to be on. Let's check it. Oh, did it cut well? Here. There we go. I see this ripped one has that spot, so let me try to straighten that out. So we don't see that rip. Let me just line it up a little better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Where else are we playing? Definitely up here. And maybe we just do another one across. It's just the same one. Yeah, I think it is, but that's okay. We'll do it upside down this time. I do like it. It takes up my box here, but I'm gonna leave it. I can still put a temperature in there. Okay, and then I think just maybe one more over here. And I don't want it to be too small, so we'll white out this corner just slightly. Partially off the page. I guess we'll just bring it up. Okay, that is much better, but we don't have a ton left. I could just keep putting them on, but I do think we could get to the point of a little too much. Yeah, so we'll save those for later. And we'll get this punched before I forget. So we just need the date added and then we will be done. I'm gonna put this back in its sticker book just in the front here. Okay, so Mojo Jojo Plans Pastel Data is what I'm using for the date, and last day of the month, Saturday, May 31st, and also since I am a Sunday start, this is my last day of the entire planner for May, the entire planner for May. And I think it turned out pretty cute. I like it. So let's get it back in the planner. Now when you're doing 2-page dailies like I do, I'm doing 8 spreads a week, and you have some misses, which this spread is just really busy, but I love the artwork. It's really beautiful. But these stickers were made for like a mini, and I'm using a big. But then you also have some that you think are, you know, cute enough, and then you have some that you think are really cute. Like I really do love Fridays, how that turned out. But we're talking about Saturday, and I also really love Saturdays. So this is ready to go a week ahead to plan in, and we're back here. We're back here on Thursday, and I'm still filling out for the day. And maybe we'll do a video about how I fill out my planner sometime in the future. But right now we're just getting back on track and getting ahead of things. But that is it for this video. Saturday, May 30th, 31st, the last day of May. Check back to the channel for the declutter planner, the last week of my decluttering for May, and then for my June planner setup. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tambour with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.